Hi babies. So for my story time today, I am talking about my premonitions and very serious one that also gave me a full out-of-body experience. So to start my story, I was working at a mall, working retail, 40 hours a week. I drove about half hour, 40 minutes to get to my job, crossed a river to get there. Not a big deal, not a terrible drive. So I, at one point, I at one point owned a Corsica. I was never ever a fan of this car. Just never was a fan. And one of the reasons being, this seat belt in the car seat would always lay right here. Like it wouldn't lay on my chest right. It would cut me right in the throat. And even though I do wear my seatbelt every day when I get in, this car I did not, simply because of the way that it cut me in the throat, and it was not comfortable, and I did not feel safe. So, that being said, one morning I get up, I get ready, I am walking outside, and I go and I get in my car and I reach for my seatbelt, and I instantly have a ridiculous panic attack because I never reached for my seatbelt. In this car, it flipped me out so much that I didn't understand why it was happening. And yeah, so I sat there and probably had a 10-minute panic attack before I was able to drive. Relaxed as much as I possibly could without getting in huge trouble for being late. I kept my seatbelt on and I drove to work. I worked my 8 hours. I clocked out. I went and got in my car. Like every other day before, I did not grab for my seatbelt. Unlike that morning, I did not grab for my seatbelt. Didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about that morning and how it affected me, or why it happened. So I'm on my way home, and my exit was literally just a few miles, maybe 4 or 5 miles off of. Okay, this. So I crossed the river, and as soon as that happened, as soon as I go over the bridge, I blinked. I don't know if I fell asleep. I really don't know what happened. I was completely sober and on my way home from work. And I not only crossed over both lanes, but I hit the embankment and the car spun around this way, I think 3 or 4 times. The car was totaled. My driver's side window was gone. My glasses were gone. They flew out the window. But while it was happening, I knew what was happening. And I gripped the steering wheel as tight as I possibly could. And I gripped it. And when I hit the embankment, it was like I was sitting in the back seat. I was sitting in the back seat, and I could see myself gripping that steering wheel as hard as I possibly could. I could see the back of my head. It was like I was a passenger. My whole astral body was completely jolted from my physical body. And it was terrifying. I knew what was going on, I guess, and that was the scariest part. So, seconds later, Probably 2 seconds later, my car comes to a stop in the embankment. I didn't hit anyone else. It was just me. And I was not hurt other than a big bruise on my leg. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, my ring light. But it was massive. It was like 6 inches across, 4 inches wide from the steering wheel, because my seat was ripped from the hinges. And if I would have been wearing my seatbelt on the way home like I was that morning, I would have been beheaded. The whole seat was just ripped and the car was totaled. And this was, besides losing my glasses and getting some scrapes, this is all that happened to me. But I do have the car. You can see, like, it looks like I may have hit the windshield, but I don't really remember. I was really out of it when I got out. Completely totaled. That was my window. It was gone. Rubbed right up against the embankment and came to a stop. And for some reason that morning I knew something was going to happen, but I didn't know what or when. But I've a lot of times had these premonitions in different degrees. Nothing so serious as this one that I can like actually pinpoint, but this was one of the most intense experiences in my entire life. And although it's not a ghost story, it's fucking scary. It was super scary, and proof that I guess we need to pay attention to what's going on, the energies that are put out there, why we feel certain things, and what we call listening to our gut. Because that morning I knew something was going to go down. Even though I didn't think I was going to be in an accident, it totally freaked me out. And like I said, if I would have had my seatbelt on, it would have been a completely different story. And that is, yeah, how I survived a car accident and had an out-of-body experience and was able to walk away from it. I don't know. But there's my story time for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be posting the winner of the Kat Von D Lippy at the end of this video. Check it out in the comments. I will leave your name, comment back, baby, and it's yours. Good night, babes.